Hey guys, very special edition of The Running Journey. I'm Rob Tatro. We will take you through the 7 marathons, 7 days, 7 continents in these next 2 episodes. This first episode is going to cover the first 4 marathons. It's going to include the travel, the ups, the downs, the pacing strategies, the heat, the lack of sleep. We're going to talk about it all, what you need to know if ever you plan on doing 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. I can tell you right now, this is a lot of fun. A lot of ups, lots of downs. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this special episode of The Running Journey. Hey guys, Rob and Charlie here. We're recapping Antarctica, the Antarctica race, which was pretty epic, pretty spectacular. First time for me ever in Antarctica. Well, probably ever, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going there anytime soon, but going back.
It was a long trek there, and I wouldn't say a super comfortable trek there. So this was our first marathon, first of 7 marathons. So we got on at the Cape Town airport on this modified cargo plane. Is that what you'd call it? Modified cargo plane. They put seats in there. They drilled porta potties in there, and basically it's kind of a free for all for seating. 5.5 hours it took, almost 6 all in. And once you're there, you get off the plane. What were your first impressions when you got there?
How bright the sun was, I think, was one thing. And how unique of a landscape it was, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost feel like it felt like it could have been like somewhere in Nunavut, somewhere up north.
Yeah.
It was very, very white, very bright, and it just went on forever. And then they had sea containers. The setup was pretty good. They started out, they showed us around the setup.
Cabin D was clutch.
Cabin D was clutch. It felt like a camp, like a weekend camp. It had 5-6 beds, bunk beds, which we'll get to in a sec as to why that was important. But race started, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours after we got there.
I'd say probably more. Well,
2 hours maybe? 2.5?
Probably 2.
We started at what time?
We started at 2.
Yeah, we didn't get there till noon. So at least 2 hours after. But
that was 4 p.m. Cape Town time, and we had gotten up at 5.
No. We got up at 4.
4:30, that's
because
right.
we had to be at the hotel at 5.
So it was basically 12 hours.
12 hours after we got up, we were running a marathon. So first thing Charlie and I did, obviously, is we checked out the surface. I went around and we looked at the surface. It was almost like it was a ski-doos that passed.
There was a bit of variance. Like it wasn't the same all the way through, but yeah.
Snowmobiles that passed, and they were there was like right in the middle of the snowmobile track was soft.
Yeah.
Because it had kind of chopped it up. On the sides of it, where the skis looked like they had passed, or maybe they had passed some other grooming machine, there was
usually a spot right on the edge of where it was like it was partially groomed, but like frozen ice.
Yeah. So it basically went ice, partially groomed, frozen ice, partially groomed.
Yeah. So
and you have to find the sweet spot in between. So race starts, and as expected, Charlie is feeling good. He's bolting out of the gate. What did you do? 8:20 on your first mile?
No.
Did we do? Remind me.
Well, you were ahead of me already by then.
What did we do? Remind me.
Oh, I could pull up.
No, but like we raced together the first 2 loops.
Yeah, first 2 loops, and then
and a half.
Yeah, and then I went to get water, and you left me in the dust.
So the course is 10 loops of 4.2 kilometers, or 2.62 miles. And
I kind of knew, because it was 10 loops, you could kind of figure out, like, if you're doing 24-minute loops, you knew that was 4 hours. And then every minute below that meant 10 minutes difference for your marathon time.
Yeah. So
or a half is like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So 18 minutes would have been a 3 hour. 21 minutes would have been a 3:30.
Yeah.
24 minutes would have been a 4. So some guys went out of the gate pretty quick. There was 2 guys and 2 gals out of the gate pretty quick, and we were in 5th. I thought I was in 6th, but apparently I was wrong.
No, yeah, you were in 5th. I was in 6th.
5th and 6th. I felt good. This is one of the most exciting days ever for me. I felt so good running that day. I felt so good running. I felt like I was just, I guess I haven't run in a while. And pushing the pace. And so we finished our first loop in, I think, 20.
Well, yeah, so the first two loops were almost exactly
22:30?
22 and a half. They were close, not exactly.
Oh, I left you then at the end of the first loop because I did a 21:30 on my second loop.
Third loop.
I did a 21:30 on my second loop.
Okay. I did a 21:30 on the second loop too. Yeah, we both did. Yeah,
and then I did a 20:30.
We picked it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, so then the third loop. So the third loop, I picked it up. That was my fastest loop, and you left me in the dust.
Yeah, obviously I ended up making a mistake. Like, I shouldn't have gone that fast, but I felt good. And then I was like, hey, is my governor working right now? Am I going to be able to hold this pace? And usually, whenever you ask yourself that, it's probably not a good sign, right?
Well, so it's a fine line, right? You don't want to be saying, I can guarantee you I can hold this pace, because that means you're probably not going fast enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I was just doubting myself a little bit. So anyways, I did a 20:30 and then I did another 20:30. And then I was like, okay, now the gap was growing between me and you.
Yeah.
And the rest of the field, because people were struggling. People were struggling on this course. Like, I think.
Yeah, so there is a lot of elevation, surprisingly a lot.
Talk about the hill. Talk about the monster hill.
Yeah. So it was basically you would start your loop and it'd be downhill, and then it'd be kind of flat but still slightly downhill for.
It was a triangle. It was basically a triangle.
For like the first side of the triangle was downhill, and then the second side was slightly downhill too. And the wind switched a little bit a couple times, but depending on where the wind was, but the last part of the triangle was very. It wasn't. Well, it's pretty significantly uphill.
Yeah, it was like 80 feet or something per loop.
Yeah, and then right at the end, there'd be a big climb.
Big climb on the last chunk.
So by the end, I noticed almost except for like the good guys, almost every single person was walking.
Yeah, I didn't walk it once.
Not just the hill, but almost that whole.
The whole mile. It was almost an exact mile.
Yeah.
Because the loop was 2.6 miles, but the middle piece was slightly shorter.
Yeah.
So it was like 0.9, 0.7, 0.9, something like that. Almost exactly. Not quite a third, but okay. So.
But I remember, like, every time at the end, it wasn't. At the beginning, it didn't even really bother me that much. The going up the hill, but by the end, it was like I was doing everything just to keep moving up that hill.
How did you find it temperature-wise? Oh, we should talk about what you decide to wear.
Yeah. So temperature-wise, we got extremely lucky. It was basically -5.
-5 degrees Celsius.
There was a pretty decent wind, so it probably felt a little bit colder than that. But then the sun would warm you up. But depending on what time, like when you were running into the wind or you were exposed to the wind, it would feel quite a bit colder. Probably like -15, I would guess.
So there's a couple things. One is there's like a couple shelves. So obviously you went downhill, so you were higher up. So you had the wind in the first third of the course.
Yeah.
You had no wind in the last third of the course.
Except for a couple times it switched.
Yeah, loop 7 or something like that. But generally,
I did 3 times that loop against the wind. That section.
Generally, at the first while, anyways. But when we got off the plane, I had no toque on, no mitts on.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Yeah,
I hummed and hawed.
No toque. I did keep the gloves all the way.
I hummed and hawed for the longest time as to how many layers to wear, because Tom, our Australian buddy, was wearing shorts and 1 layer, shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, and he's like
he's Australian. He lives in Perth. It's 1,000,000 degrees.
So, but he was giving us a hard time because he was like, I'm gonna outdo the Canadians here.
You had you didn't bring shorts with you.
Yeah.
So I
think my choices were perfect.
Yeah, there were some times where I wish I had less layer, and sometimes where I wish I had more layer.
Loop 9 and 10, I felt cold
because now it was getting
the wind had
6 p.m. or whatever
picked up, I think, and
yeah, the wind picked up for sure. I did,
and the sun wasn't as warm at the end too, right? Like it was
I did shorts, compression socks, long compression shirt up top, and a windbreaker jacket, like a thin Lululemon windbreaker jacket. I love that. The odd time I was a tad cold, more often I was a tad warm. It was perfect because there was a big difference between if you're in the bottom of the valley and if you're at the top.
Yeah.
And all this time you're running, and like if you don't have your shades, like it felt incredibly bright in your eyes. Right? You actually switched glasses.
Yeah, so I had originally I had like just normal sunglasses, but there's a bit of a space on the side, and I kind of was feeling the side of my, like, maybe this was my imagination, I'm not sure, but I was kind of feeling it, like just this kind of feeling of it getting burnt. So I went and asked the doctor. I was like, "What do you think I should do?" And she told me, "Oh, you just try it out and see how it goes." And then I said, "Well, I think I'm feeling it right now." So she said, "Okay, change."
Goggles. So you wore your space goggles.
Yeah.
So I guess I left you midway through loop 3 at the 8th. There was an aid station exactly halfway. So,
Yeah.
And they didn't even announce that there was this aid station.
Yeah. So the guy, so I was running with this guy the whole time. He's a good runner, Sardar. And
French guy.
Yeah, and he didn't know about this aid station, so
There were two choices for aid station. You could either use the one out there, or you could go back to the cabin, which was like 100 meters, 80 meters,
maybe 50, and then you go there and back. But
Yeah.
you have to go there and back. So he would lose like a minute. Every loop he would go in, come back, he'd lose like a minute, and then he'd be behind me.
And then he would slowly catch up and pass you.
Yeah, and then he'd catch up and pass me. But I was right behind him right till the end.
But I can't believe he didn't see you go in and get water at the aid station.
I was always slightly behind.
Oh, you were behind him by then.
Usually.
So the aid station was like just a truck with a 4 liter or no 10, 20 liter of water on the box. That's it. I guess they were electrolytes too, right?
Yeah, I only found out about the electrolytes.
I didn't even know about the electrolytes.
Like loop 7.
I didn't know about the electrolytes, but I thought there was incredible. And in fact, I'm the one who got the aid station set up, because after we passed the first loop, there was nothing set up. And they had told me, I'd asked Joe specifically, I said, "Hey, is there going to be water out on the course?" He said, 100% there'll be an aid station, there'll be water at the aid station. So when I passed, I let the guy know, "Hey, there's no water at the aid station." And he started radioing it right away, "Hey, get some of the water out there." So they brought the water out. Because otherwise it would have been, well, like what's his name? Sardar?
Yeah, Sardar.
So that would have been 5, and it's an extra 5 minutes probably on a marathon, right? Maybe more.
Well, he was losing a minute every time.
Yeah, maybe 7, 8
So
minutes.
10 loops.
But I didn't go every loop to the aid station. I was only going every second
I
loop.
skipped about 2 or 3 loops.
I did 2, 4, 6, 8.
So I think I did a bit more than that.
So for me, I left Charlie. So then now I'm comfortably in 5th place. And then on loop 3, I think, or 4, Tomimo, so she's a very fast runner. She went to the washroom, and like the one inside, and I just kept going. So I passed her, and I didn't see her again. There were still 3 people ahead of me, and I had a secret goal. I talked about this, to get a podium at one of these races. So I wanted a podium. I wanted it bad. I had a bunch of goals, but one of them was to get a podium, and the other was to do a negative, and the other was to break 3:30. But I did my first half in 1:46, so it was tough to do 3:30, because now I had to do a 1:44, and that was pretty fast. And I realized on loop 6 that wasn't going to happen. Loop 6, I had to do 20:45s the rest of the way, each loop, and I did a 20:49 or something. What did you had to do something too, right, to break?
No, I mean, I was just trying to keep
No.
going.
You said for your last 5 loops you had to do.
To do what? To do a negative?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I figured out the math once I went to halfway, and I knew I needed like 22:20s.
Yeah. And then the 6th loop, you kind of were close to that.
22:18 on loop 6.
And that was it.
And that was it.
It got way harder. Loop 6, and then loop 7 was way slower. Loop 8 was slower.
Then, yeah, by the time I got to loop 8, I was more survival mode, and I was like, okay, I'll do 8 and 9 slow, and then
Go hard on 10.
and have something in the tank for 10.
You'd climb this huge hill, then you'd turn the corner, and you had to start busting because otherwise you can't make up the time that you're losing on the hill, right? Like you just can't.
I would just rest the whole downhill.
Yeah, no, I was
I'd
trying to.
like save my energy.
I was trying to break 330, but also more importantly, I realized 330 wasn't happening. Then I tried to the negative. I hung on to the negative for 1 or 2 loops. I realized that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And then loop 9, I was secretly hoping for a podium. I was like, well, if I could pass one person here. And then I started debating, like, just kind of mailing it in. I was like, I'm way ahead of Charlie.
Like I did.
Well, I probably should have. I was like, I'm way ahead of Charlie and Sartara. So, like, I will get 4th. So what's the big deal? Whether it's a 337 or a 342, there's no difference. So just, there was 1 loop left. I could have easily mailed it in, walked up the hill, and just not.
I walked up the hill on 8 and 9.
Yeah, but I didn't. I didn't do that. I decided I was going to push. I said, what if there's a chance you get a podium? So I decided that on the last hill on the last mile. I said, you know what? There's only 1 mile left. Just push hard. And sure enough, I passed. What's her name?
You passed
Her, the one who won.
Oh, she's so fast.
She's very fast.
She did a 310 today.
She's fast.
Yeah.
She's very fast. She's fast. Anyway, she was wearing like a mask, and she was overdressed a little bit, but she's very fast. So anyways, I passed her with I don't know if it's half a mile on the hill. I passed her, and then when I got to the finish line, they told me. I thought the tape was just for the top 3. I didn't know they give the tape to everyone.
To everyone,
yeah. But they had a tape there. And I was like, why do I get the tape? And the guy said, you finished 3rd. Congratulations. I was so pumped. I grabbed the tape. I started pounding the ground. I started screaming. I was so jacked. I was like such a high. I was on such a high that moment in Antarctica. Oh, man, it was so cool. And then I went into the cabin and I talked to the other 2 guys at length about the race. Oh, what do you think of the tour? What do you think of this? And man, it was fun. That was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man.
I mean,
I did a 337.
I really enjoyed kind of me and Sardar kind of
competing.
He was pulling me a little bit. We both struggled at the end because.
So he beat you by how many minutes? A minute.
1 minute.
And what did you do? 351.
I did just at 351.58.
Okay. But for those conditions, that's a great time because the course was deteriorating at the end.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It makes it harder. It makes it harder when the course deteriorates. It wasn't like the beginning. So the course is deteriorating. The wind is picking up. It's getting colder. Yeah, we haven't slept. We haven't eaten. So that was... Anyway, so how did it finish for you? You just let him go and you...
No, I could see him.
And you tried?
And so I was slowing down, but he was also slowing down. But no, at the end, he pushed a little bit, and I couldn't finish.
It's, man, no matter what happens the rest of this thing, I podiumed in Antarctica. I freaking ran one of the best races. I fell off at the end, but so did everyone else. Like I did a 5 minute positive. You did a 6 minute positive? 7 minute positive. And I think pretty much everyone was doing positive. So,
well, the thing is that hill really tired your legs out.
Takes a lot out of us, right? Yeah, it's not an easy hill. So the Boston Marathon has 247 meters of elevation. This course had 262 meters of elevation. So there's elevation. There's a lot of elevation that we had to deal with. And every loop I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then on loop 8, I was thinking, I only have 6 miles left when I was starting the hill. I was like, of those 6 miles, 3 of them are straight up the hill. So I was like, it wasn't like encouraging.
I was doing the when I got to 8, I was like, okay, I only have to do the hill this time
and 2 more times. Yeah, the hill was something else. And then race finishes, and then we had some time to kind of walk around and crush a huge meal.
When I don't know about you, but when I finished, I was like, I cannot do another lap right now.
No, I was like, thank God there's not 11 loops. I started slowing down quite a bit, but I mean, so did everyone else.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know how I can run a marathon in like 12 hours.
Yeah, because well, the thing is, you get on the plane, you fly right back, and you start right after. There's no day to chill in your hotel room and sleep and start the next day, because those first two marathons are incredibly tight. Incredibly tight. What is it? 13 hours between the end of the first one?
13 hours from when we finished to when we started.
Okay, but that lady who did it in 8 hours.
Yeah, so she had like 9 hours.
She had 9 hours break between the end of her first. So that's like doing an ultra. Like,
well, it's 2 marathons in a day.
2 marathon in like whatever, 20 hours or whatever. So that's a challenge for sure. Went into the room. I started chit-chatting with these guys, talking about the race. It was so cool. Maybe I'll play a clip here of that, just because I think it's so cool. And then all of a sudden, it's like you were like, "Hey, let's go eat," right? So went, ate a monster meal. You had 2 meals.
I had 1 meal right after, and then I tried to sleep, and then I had another meal.
And then basically we jump on this plane, fly back. On the way back, nobody could sleep apparently, right? People were not able to sleep. It was 1,000,000 degrees in there. You're in like these mildly uncomfortable cargo seats. I actually pulled a move and I went to the back and I slept on luggage. I asked Joe, I said, "Hey, is this a free-for-all?" He was like, yeah, sleep wherever you want. There were people sleeping like between the shitters. There were people sleeping on, like people were sleeping on the ground. Like it was just wherever they could get some Z's. And the 6-hour flight back, and then boom, get right back at it. Highlights from the first marathon?
Highlights from the first.
How do you think it went?
It went okay.
Yeah,
I'm
thrilled.
I did sub 4, so yeah, it's good.
I am thrilled.
It was supposed to be the hardest marathon, but foreshadowing.
I think some other ones might be tough. I like the weather. Like it wasn't that. It was tough.
Yeah, the weather wasn't bad. The surface wasn't
But
bad.
it's also your first one, so you're fresh.
Yeah.
Doing back to back marathons is going to get tough at some point, I imagine. All right. Anything else you want to add about this first one?
Congratulations! That your 3:37 was really
One of the best times ever in the history of the continent for a marathon.
18th fastest.
You checked?
No.
I might be better than that.
I might be top 50.
Charlie finished 6th overall. I finished 3rd overall. And 3 Canadians in the top 6. Paul Corborn, great athlete. He finished 2nd. So we're certainly here. Canada represents. All right, guys, that's it for the first marathon. Off to Copenhagen. Hey, guys, Rob and Charlie here. This is recap race 2. This was a tough day.
Cape Town, or as you like to call it, Copenhagen.
Tough day in Cape Town. I called it Copenhagen like 4 times on the way here. You called, what did you call Amsterdam?
I was getting things, I called Antarctica.
Amsterdam, yeah, okay. We're at the airport right now on our way to Mauritius. We're about to board a flight to Mauritius. By the way, before we talk about the race, like the travel schedule is something else.
We have to talk about like how we immediately left Antarctica.
We left Antarctica. Get there, drop your. And there was supposed to be food ready. I mean, there was food ready, but it was a bit of a riffraff. It took some time. By the time we ate, we had 45. Got to our room. We had 45 minutes till we had to race.
Yeah, we had to. Well, we had to.
Or to leave or whatever.
Back to the hotel by 8:45.
8:45 for the 9 o'clock race. So
we had to shower.
We hadn't slept. Get our stuff ready, shower, bib, all that. I took a 20-minute nap. I set my alarm for 20.
I also took a 20.
But I screwed up because I ended up putting like.
Well, no, you didn't screw up. It didn't wake you.
I know the alarm was blaring both times. Yeah. Both times my alarm was blaring because I've not slept. Like I'm okay. So now we're
we're on our way to this flight, and apparently these seats are super comfortable, and it's a 13-hour flight to Perth, and like I can't tell you, I've never looked forward to a 13-hour flight as much as I'm looking to a 13-hour flight right now. I think I could sleep 13 hours. I don't know about you. I think I'm freaking tired.
I hope.
Like this is the most, like I am tired. So no wonder people had a bad day today. I had a terrible day today. I re-aggravated an injury. So you had a pretty good day, but I know he feels like he had a terrible
My first 13 miles were good.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you got through. You finished 6th overall again.
No, I don't think so.
6th, 7th, whatever.
Yeah.
So back-to-back races where you're kind of in that 6th spot.
I think 6th man, maybe.
6th man, okay, well, still. I definitely
maybe 7th, somewhere around.
This was my second slowest marathon of my life.
This is one of my slowest, but no, it's not. Whatever. Yeah.
But anyway, so I did a 5:07.
Like,
No, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll discuss. We'll go ahead. What were you gonna say?
what made this thing so hard was the fact that basically it was 13 hours from the time we finished the marathon in Antarctica to the start time of this one, right? So
Crazy.
basically, by the time I finished this marathon, I had done 2 marathons in 22 hours, in less than 22 hours.
Yeah, and no sleep.
And no sleep.
And like the food situation wasn't ideal because it was sporadic and like we didn't eat on the plane back at all. There was no food.
Yeah, no.
We were crushing chocolate bars.
I barely ate, yeah.
And then we get to the room and it's okay, there's food, but you're racing in an hour.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you crush potatoes? I tried to crush potatoes. I had big cramps early on in the race. I was so out of it when you came and woke me up. I would have missed the race.
Yeah, you would have.
I was so out of it, like I forgot my timing belt. I forgot my timing chip.
Oh yeah.
So we get down to the race. It's a little late. You needed to take a deuce. I forgot my timing chip. So I asked Oliver, "What do I do?" He says, "Well, I get you one. It's gonna take a while." I said, "Or I can jog back." So I jogged back to the Airbnb. It took me 10 minutes to go back.
That probably killed you.
That killed me. Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, that killed me. And they didn't start on time. Obviously, they didn't start till 9:20. I think.
15.
9:15. Okay. 15 minutes late though, from the time everyone was at the start line.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it's loosey goosey, but it's not the Manitoba Marathon, right? The start times are a little loosey.
Well, I mean, it's tough.
No, I know. Okay, so you want to take us to the start of this race for you? By the way, Charlie tells me, let's just run nice and easy, 3:51 pace.
I did run 3:51 pace for the first half.
No. I took a screenshot of my watch. I was running 8:30s.
My watch was telling me different than.
I was running 8:30s, and you were ahead of me.
I was slightly under 3:51. I was 8:45. So my first half marathon was at 8:45.
Oh, half a marathon. I'm talking the first mile and a half.
Yeah. It was telling me 9:10.
No, that can't be.
It was telling me like.
Because I know
it was telling me I was too slow.
I was checking it nonstop because I was upset. I was like, "Jeez, what's he doing? Like, he said 3:51, and here he is, like, well, I guess he doesn't want to run with me." And then I could start not feeling good already. So I was like, uh-oh. And then, so the goal was, I was hoping, I thought I would just be able to run a 3:51. Pretty easy, 3:51.
I thought I was going to be able to.
And worst case, you just kind of do 4 hour maybe, right? If 3:51's not there, you still break 4 hour. You still keep that goal of doing 4 hour. But not for me. By mile 4, I knew that 4 hour was out. By mile 4, I knew it was out.
So it was weird because I was able to hold my pace and I felt good. I felt all right.
But I got hurt. It's different. It's different than you.
No, I felt good. I felt all right. But during the third loop, so it was 6-loop race. So during the third loop, I kind of hit a wall. Like I was able to keep going for the third loop. And I think I finished the half in like 1:55.
Okay, so it was still...
Well, I was under 3:50. It was 3:50 pace.
Okay.
But it was like
You knew you didn't have it.
I just couldn't do it anymore, right?
So obviously, do you think it's got to be fatigue, right?
My legs were just...
Yeah. My cardio was great.
Oh, my cardio wasn't. Well, my cardio was all right. Like my heart rate.
Well, I wasn't moving, so I guess.
My heart rate didn't get up too high. It was just, I had. It was just hard time to have the will to run.
So I had probably the biggest emotional swing in running in 20 hours. I was on such a high after Antarctica. I crushed this. I'm gonna do well in this thing. My injury's gone. I'm feeling great. I got a podium. I can beat these people. To I'm not gonna finish this thing. I'm not gonna finish it because if it's this bad now, I have to do another 22 miles on it right now. And what's that gonna look like tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I was miserable. I was miserable for 4 hours, 3 hours, 3.5. I did a 5:07.
Yeah. So I think I did I don't know my real time. I think
5:05 or something.
I think it was around 4:10.
Okay, so you beat me by an hour.
But my first half was 1:55, so it was like a 2:15.
I had a 25-minute difference,
Okay.
and I kind of got healthy in the second half because the doctor gave me meds and everything. So I was, oh man. So I'm aware of when I get like this, like how I get miserable and I get depressed and I was just turning on myself, blaming myself for running too hard yesterday. Like the last thing Mom said to me was, just take it easy. You don't need to run a personal best in Antarctica. You have 7 marathons. Take it easy. You don't take your time. And of course, I didn't listen to Mom. I didn't listen to Joel, my coach. I didn't listen to Patrick.
You listened to me. I think you did.
I'll always have Antarctica.
Yeah.
I'll always have Antarctica. I'll always have one of the fastest times ever in Antarctica. Hey, so I did a 5:07 today, but I wasn't happy. Like I was really, really miserable. Like I would have punched a kid out.
I wasn't happy either. It was just, I was just like, am I gonna it was like, how am I gonna finish this? That's how it felt. But it wasn't quite as bad as you, but it just felt hard to keep going.
But the more people I talked to, the more they were having the same emotions.
Oh, okay.
People were not in a good mood.
It was hard. Well, I think it's honestly the lack. It's just it's 2 marathons in a day.
2 marathons in a day with not a ton of food, not nutrition, not super well handled,
Yeah.
and the flight back was
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even go to your room. You couldn't nap. You couldn't no sleep whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. If you want to go to Antarctica, that's the only way you go to Antarctica. You can't take a private jet to Antarctica. So I get it. That's your only option. So I'm not complaining about that.
But they could have maybe done it at 7 p.m. or something.
The Cape Town Marathon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then you it affects all the
You push everything back, but I mean, that travel was just so I would have done it at 2.
It was two back to back.
It was very back to back. It was very, very back to back with no sleep. And we're complaining here, but
it didn't affect Esmeralda.
Esmeralda
No,
did
I don't know what it really was.
she did a 3:10 today. She won outright.
Yeah, she was fun.
So I beat her yesterday in Antarctica, and she's now probably the average leader.
She's probably ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
Oh no, because she was.
Oh no, she was behind me.
No.
No. But she's close. She's close. All I'm saying.
No, that the Allen guy is probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, she's crushing the women right now.
Yeah. No, she's amazing.
She did a 3:40 yesterday and then a 3:10. Alan did 2 3:20s, I think.
Yeah. He's just gonna do 3:20.
Yeah, he's just gonna cruise along doing 3:20s every day. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how she did a 3:10 today. That's
She's
unreal.
Probably used to the heat more.
Well, and not sleeping and all that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's very impressive. So,
But also, those 2 other guys did 3:20s too.
which 2? The French guys?
No, the 2 other guys that finished second and third.
Paul
And Allen.
Oh yeah. Well, the first and second
Yeah.
in the men.
But then after that, it dropped.
Big
crazy.
drop. You finished.
So Marathon Yellow. No, so Sardar, I'm pretty sure finished third. And then Marathon Yellow finished fourth. Pretty sure.
I just saw that my coach commented on my marathon today. He's probably not happy. He's probably going to give you a very light,
You
I
need
told you
You
so.
need to take it easy here.
Why did you not follow the plan?
Yeah, so I was 5th or 6th. Oh,
Okay.
the French guy, 2 French guys beat me. Plus, yeah.
So I was getting passed like crazy. Well, because I was doing 13-minute miles there for a stretch. And I'll tell my story, then I'll let you talk about your race. But my story is a simple one. I got injured. I got miserable. I was despising everything about life. I was questioning, well, if I have a problem, like why can't you listen? Why can't you think things through? Like what's your problem, Rob? And then I saw a guy, Tom, our Australian buddy. I think we've talked about him in the past, but I saw him on Loop 4 at the beginning of Loop 4, and I saw him up ahead, and I was like, it's Tom. I said, I want to run with Tom. So I just bolted. I caught up to him, and I said, hey, do you mind if I run? He's like, oh, Mike, I'd love to run with you. That's my accent. That's my accent.
Beauty.
He was doing 5 minutes walking, 2 minutes running, and I was walking the aid stations. So I said, dude, whatever. I don't give a shit about my time.
So the whole second half, I tried different variations of walk running. It was so the fourth loop I did. The fourth loop I did 5 minutes 1, and I still did it in 43 minutes.
5-1.
5-1. And then the fifth loop I did pick a spot.
Oh yeah. The Aubry Tétreault method.
The don't walk longer than like a garbage can.
Yeah.
And then pick a spot. And then the third loop I did the one hydro pull, 2 hydro pull.
Did we talk about this course? What it was? 6 loops? Did we talk about this?
Yeah, 6 loops. Yeah.
6 loops. Each loop was 7.7 kilometers basically, and there were 3 aid stations. Although Charlie only thought there were 2. So there was
I only saw 2.
He passed by an aid station 6 times and didn't see it. So there was the start line. There was a fairly significant aid station there. There was one at mile 1.9 at the back that had water and bananas and electrolytes. And then there was a small one at mile 3.3 with like about a mile left. And they had like watermelon and water, and it was light, but they had one. So what I would do, I'd walk the aid stations and a little bit. But what I noticed when I was walking the aid stations and a little bit, like my pace, like I was running at like 1250s or whatever. Like I was running so slow.
Oh yeah, when I was running, I was around 8:59.
So then when I met up with Tom, he said, walk 5, run 2. And I noticed right away he was jogging way faster than me when he was running.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing faster pace, but we were doing 5.2. So anyways, my mood immediately changed. He talked some sense into me. I realized, listen, the time, yes, I'm competitive, it matters, but what could I have done today? Like, there's nothing I could have done better than what I did. And it's in the past, and move on, and quit being a whiner. And then maybe I made this joke on my Strava. Maybe I'm like a bipolar runner because I get high. I get really high when I get highs on running, and I get really low when I get lows. So just something for me to be aware of in the future. I was aware of it. I knew it was happening. And I was trying to figure out a way around it. But the solution was an Aussie, a buddy Tom from Perth, Australia. By the way, he's going to see his wife tomorrow.
Oh.
Wife and kids, they're coming.
Oh, nice.
Wife and daughter, I should say. So that was my race. I finished with Tom hand in hand. We walked together. Not hand in hand, that's a joke. But we just did 5.2 the rest of the way. We shared stories. It was like run with Rob, like or like a backyard with Simo.
Yeah.
Super slow. How about you? And by the way, I was fine.
I was with Marathon Yellow most of the race.
Okay.
I was ahead of him. I was in 3rd place till the 5th loop, and then I completely collapsed. Then I got passed by Sardar. I got passed by Marathon Yellow, and I got passed by the other French guy.
The red hair.
Yeah, the doctor.
Oh, Fred? Frederick?
No,
the guy who was
not
running
Red.
with Sardar?
Yeah,
Fred.
Sardar's buddy. Yeah.
Frederick.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty fast too.
Yeah, so he passed me on the final loop. But it was interesting. I was doing my walk run, and I was still passing people. So
We started passing people. We started passing people doing 12:50s, 12 minutes and 50, 8-minute kilometers.
So yeah, no, it was rough, but it was okay.
Mauritius. That's us. We're going to Mauritius. Then we're going to. I'm better now. I'm okay now. I have a hip problem that I don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow, but my physio's already messaged me a solution for it. I'm just going to see what I can do tomorrow. How about you?
Yeah, I might just try to jog it out and then save some for the second half.
Of the marathons. For Marathon 567.
Yeah, because I went a little bit too hard.
I think I might have went too hard. You know what though? I'm at peace with it because I said I wanted a podium. I'll always have Antarctica. I was on such a high. I just think of Antarctica right now, and I'm like so excited about it. So that's something special, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you know, I chase highs. That's what I do, and I got one. So
I chase steadiness.
Yeah,
No,
that's why it's the yin and the yang. So we do have to go to our flight here. So we could have spent way more time talking about this one, but I think people struggled. The lesson is people struggled.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
sorry.
think so. Most people, yeah, except for the super runners.
The super runners. There are 3 at least that I know of, right? Because after that, it falls off.
Yeah. The top 4, the two top women and the 2 top. I don't know how the 2 women do it.
I don't know either. We should check out. She looks like she's zooming up there.
Yeah, she's.
Timomi and Estrella, what is it?
I call her Esmeralda.
Esmeralda.
But I don't know because she's Spanish. So. But I don't think that's her name.
So they called our flight, and not one of our runners here are moving. So this flight is supposed to be lay down seats, supposed to be a super cozy flight. God, I'm gonna sleep. I'm trying to think the last time I had a sleep. When was the last time because I didn't sleep the night before it started.
Yeah. Well,
I
slept a bit in the back of the plane. Right? You know?
Yeah, an hour 24. My Garmin says.
I slept like 0. I mean, I slept maybe 10 minutes before the race.
Okay, yeah. I had 20 minutes there.
And then I had a hard 2 hours here. After.
What day is it today? Saturday?
Yeah.
Wednesday night is the last time I slept. 8 hours, 7 hours. Anything more than 2 hours. An hour.
Oh, you mean on the planes and stuff?
No, like in our hotel room.
Oh, right.
I did not sleep Thursday.
What was Thursday? Oh, because we were excited.
I was so excited. I was pumped. I was so
I didn't sleep
anxious.
much either.
I didn't sleep at all, and I was up like, and
Yeah, I think we got to go
no one standing
Yeah,
up.
well, because they're Chinese, they don't understand.
I know they're okay. So we will wrap this up, but
Yeah.
early feel about the group. I think the group is really, really cool. People are pretty friendly, and there's a bunch of social media guys, experts that are pretty cool too, actually. And the organizing committee is pretty awesome. I met some good friends. So clearly, the name of the game here is going to be survival.
Yeah, I feel like I'm losing weight because I'm not eating enough.
Would it kill them to have fries? All right, so this is it for race 2, Copenhagen.
Copenhagen to
Cape Town is in the books. One of the worst races I've ever done, but I'm at peace with it. And tomorrow's a new day, and let's go see what we can do in Perth, eh?
It was actually my fastest second marathon
Of the same day ever.
on the same day.
Okay, well that's something to hang your
There's
hat
a
on.
PR for my
PR for second marathon on the same day. Good for you. Me too, I guess. No, I have a few of those. Same day? I guess 24 hours. I would have a few. But anyways. Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That's 2 of our races done. And if we sound like we're not excited, it's because we're extremely, extremely tired right now. Extremely tired. So hopefully this changes everything with this flight. All right, guys. Talk to you in a bit.
crush Perth.
I'm gonna crush Perth. Although I thought that about Cape Town, and Cape Town beat the living crap out of me.
Yeah.
Anyways, next. Okay, are we walking?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll walk. So Marathon 3 is in the books.
Yeah.
We are live here in Perth, Australia, on the western Cape of the Or a Canadian cousin, I'd call him. The Aussies are so nice. Hey, we'll go this way. The Aussies are so nice. Charlie, how was today?
Was less torturous, is what I would describe it as. It was good. It was fun. It was a little hard at the end, but not so bad. Like, I'm ready to go for tomorrow again.
I know somebody who says, some guy I really trust and who's really wise, who says marathons are hard.
Yeah.
And he says that at the end, if they're not hard, it means you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about the difference. I mean, you and I have different experiences because yesterday was I think you were like, yeah, but I'm doing way worse than yesterday. You said that at some point today.
No. So the experience yesterday was just awful for me. The last half, it was just like really questioning my life choices, and it was just really, really, really hard to get through. And although it was a little bit faster, today was a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, for me, I'd say if yesterday was a 0.1 as to how much I enjoyed my marathon.
Yeah.
And like the first 4 loops would have been a -6, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Today was like a 7.
Yeah.
Let's go this way.
Yeah.
Today was like a 7. Yes, it was hard because we've done 2 marathons now in 2 days, and today's now 3. But Mini Grains texting us, I think.
Oh, shout out to Mini Grains.
Shout out to Mini Grains. Love you, Mini Grains.
Yeah.
He's coming with me to London.
Nice.
For me, was a night and day. Yesterday, I was depressed. I was miserable. And like you talked about, you said this on the plane. You said when extreme fatigue sets in, your mind, right?
Yeah,
You're
I think
not able to
it's
make-
a lot more the mind than the body, I think, that just doesn't want to keep going.
Because my
Like,
cardio
I think my body could have gone way faster, but my mind is just like done with the suffering, you know?
yeah, it's got enough. And I like battled through that hip thing yesterday. And then today, I get up after that 13. Before that, okay, I'll finish this sentence.
Yeah. Okay, finish the sentence and we should talk about the race a little bit.
Yeah,
It's fun.
no, for sure. I want to get to the race. But like today I woke up and I questioned what really happened with this injury. Like I was like, I feel so much better. I feel a million times better.
The sleep in the plane.
I know. And then I talked to the doctor and he's like, dude, sleep, nutrition, hydration. And I was like, you're the one who told me today was going to be worse than yesterday. Oh, and I asked him, I didn't tell you the story. I asked him, I said, hey, so like tomorrow I'll be good, right? I'll be good tomorrow. He said, absolutely not. I said,
You didn't want to get your hopes up.
he said, you injured a prior existing injury by overuse.
Yeah.
And then you did a marathon.
Yeah.
And you're going to do another one tomorrow. It's not going to be better. Exactly how he said to me. I was like, okay, but like there's a chance. He's like, no, I don't think so. So, okay.
So he's telling you like it is.
Yeah,
right?
I guess. But I felt a million times better today. Yeah, okay, let's talk
But
about
the
the
sleep,
travel
yeah.
here first. Travel here first.
Yeah.
So we finished Cape Town. What was that like? I'm trying to remember. Like
Remember we had a nap at the hotel at the beer.
you had
Oh,
a
yeah.
nap.
I had to go 8 stairs up. So
You had a nap. I didn't have a nap.
Yeah, I had a nap, man. It was a great nap in the hotel. And then I slept another 14 hours in the plane. I don't know if I'm actually.
Yeah, still recording. Upside down though, but
Okay.
I'm sure Tyson can flip.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so you get back to the room like an hour before me because
Yeah.
I finished 5 hours. You finished 4.
Yeah.
And you took the key. You get to the room and there's no
Oh,
elevator.
yeah. Oh, okay. By the way, you got to go up eight floors.
Not a big deal, sir, but I just need you to take 8 floors up the
You know, I
stairs.
just ran 2 marathons in 22 hours. No, I'm good. Where are the stairs? Okay. So then I go up the stairs and it's hard to like, after these things, like organizing. I just wanted to nap, but I had to.
You can't because you got to figure out the
Yeah,
next
You
day.
gotta like clean, like, anyways.
Because the big suitcase goes underneath. You don't get to touch that. You only get to bring the small suitcases on the plane. You have to have what you're wearing and what you're going to race in the small suitcases.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you figured it out.
Yeah, I
but-
figured it out. I
and you
napped.
crushed a nap. I get back an hour and a half later. I'm demoralized. I hate my life. Although it was a little bit better because Tom the Aussie helped me out. Tom the Aussie,
Yeah, he's a beaut.
he is a beaut. So I felt a little bit better. And then I get into the room. You're out cold. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not recording the podcast. That's fine because sleep is the most important thing. Like
Yeah.
everything else can wait except for sleep. Like sleep has to happen. Then I went into my room and I kind of half leaned on the pillow and I started falling asleep immediately because I hadn't slept in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fudge, no, I have to pack.
Oh,
And-
so what I did is I put my alarm for 4:15. that's going to be enough time.
Okay, but the last 2 times I didn't wake up from my alarm. I
Yeah.
took 20-minute naps. I'm blasting right through the alarm.
Yeah.
So I said, I have to do this now. I have to pack now. And I had my stuff all over the place. I was an hour and a half after you by the time I chit-chatted with some guys. So I had like maybe an hour when I got back. Packed. I had 15 minutes. You were up and we left.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So I could not look more forward to that. We thought it was a 13-hour plane, ended up being a 16-hour plane to Perth. Get on this plane. Obviously, they're lie-down seats. They said it was the jet from the New England Patriots. I don't know if that's true, but multiple people said that.
I mean, I guess they don't need it anymore because they don't make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I guess I don't know, maybe you still need it in regular season.
I think you take the jet.
But yeah.
So the whole plane is fitted with those lay-down seats, the whole thing. So like all the way. So you get your own little booth and you sleep. And honestly, you can't do this if you don't have that.
Oh no.
You can't.
Be doable, yeah.
You can't do it. You need.
It would be doable, but it would be like just awful.
Well, maybe Esmeralda there could crush 320s instead of 310s.
310s every day. I asked her what her PB was. It was like, I think she said 249.
How is she doing 310s?
I was expecting it to be lower. I was like,
I
really?
thought she was a 230.
I think I insulted her. I said, really? I thought it'd be like 230.
I told her yesterday. I spoke to her after Cape Town. We're changing subjects here, but there's a girl, a lady runner. She's an unbelievable athlete. At Verdalis, I believe is her Instagram.
Yeah.
She has like 1.8 million followers. Understandably, she just like beelines at 310 pace, nonstop, doesn't move. I beat her in Antarctica, no big deal. But she won every race. Like she won, well, the last 2.
One outright, yeah.
Yeah, one outright. She beat all the guys. She beat Paul, the Canadian. Really good. She beat Alan.
He's picking up speed.
Yeah, Paul looks good right now. We gotta interview those.
Oh,
two.
he must have passed Alan.
He was 6 minutes
faster
ahead.
than Alan this one, right?
Yeah, he was 6 minutes ahead.
Well, Paul was ahead of
Paul,
Alan.
yeah, I think.
Oh, because Alan struggled in Cape Town.
Well, struggled. I mean, had a rough day for him.
Yeah.
335 or something.
340.
340. But I mean, I told Verdalis, I said, you're 310 here today in Cape Town after not sleeping and back-to-back marathons and not eating like your nutrition. And I said, that's like a 230, I said, 240.
Yeah. I think it's like a 230, yeah.
And she was like, oh, thank you. I don't know if she understood what I was saying, but like that effort was just unbelievable. So back to the plane. We get to these planes, long sit-down plays. I'm falling asleep as I'm moving down because I've never been this fatigued. I don't remember being this fatigued in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember being more fatigued?
No.
There's no way you were more fatigued at the backyard. There's no way, right? It's a different fatigue. This is the not sleeping for 3 days fatigue.
Yeah, it's very different.
Way different. And like back when I was young, we used to pull all-nighters.
But I think
you're young.
We need to get to the race. Maybe.
Okay, fine. Charlie wants to get to the race. Anyways, we slept.
Yeah.
I just want to say this part of the story.
Yeah.
You're worried they'll leave without us?
Yeah. No, I'm worried
It's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
We're only 8 minutes in. We allow 20 minutes for a recap.
20 minutes per marathon.
Plus all the other stuff I record and whatever. But anyways, I finally sit down in this seat that I've been dying to sit down for. I'm like, oh yes, it's going to be unreal. And I start falling asleep immediately. And like, I just want to lay the seat down. Anyways, finally, like, I just fell asleep. And then we took off. We had to
Someone
stop.
tapped you to move the seat up, and you like stayed asleep. When you moved your seat up and you stayed asleep when the jet took off.
And then I slept right through the 2-hour break in Mauritius. They were changing crew and whatever. I was like, make it a 5-hour break in Mauritius.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
I didn't stay there.
I want to be on this plane till next week.
Yeah.
Like it was so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I know you're thinking. So we spent 16 hours and 12 minutes, I think, on this plane.
Yeah, it sounds like hell, but
it sounds like hell, right? But
no,
it was the greatest thing ever.
So awesome.
The greatest thing ever. It was the greatest thing ever. And I remember when you were out cold and I was starting to wake up. So now I've slept, 13, 14 hours.
Yeah.
I got up to pee a few times, and now we're like they're starting to talk about landing and stuff. It's an hour out, hour 20 or something out. And then you kind of wake up, you're like, where are we? Or whatever. And I'm like, dude, we're landing in an hour. And you check your watch, you're like, no, that can't be. Because your watch was on Mauritius time, I think, or hadn't.
I had no clue.
No clue. And I'm like, Charlie, we're landing in an hour. You're like, whoa, like, holy smokes. And you went right back to bed. Anyways, it was awesome. So I look forward to the sleep. But now we get here. You get here and you race.
Yeah.
Basically, you get here and you race.
Hurry up, get dressed, race.
Hurry up, get dressed, race. Australia, pretty beautiful. We're right on the coast here. This is the ocean, right?
Yeah, it's really
It's the ocean.
It might be a cape or something,
But like it'd be like a
it's very nice.
thick river. Like
But our path was like take a wrong step and you fall in the ocean.
yeah, we were right next to the ocean.
Yeah.
That's why we argued a little bit in that video. Check out our Instagram if you haven't seen it. I posted a little video of Charlie arguing. I can't move. I need some sidewalk. Anyway, so we started running. You had kind of said
At first I was hoping for like 2:05 and then maybe
on the split for the first half.
And then-
It's a 4-loop course,
and then maybe go slightly faster on the second.
Yeah.
But that plan,
which would make a 4:10 marathon.
yeah. So we were right on that. There was a whole group. I felt like the 4:10 pacer for like the
You
first
were the
half.
4:10
For
pacer.
the first half.
Yeah, there was Jeff. There was the guy from
we had a group
Florida.
of like
There was
6.
Antonio.
Yeah.
There was the Chinese guy
Yeah.
who didn't say one word to me. Shoulder to shoulder, I jogged with him 20 miles.
Yeah. Was he there 20 miles?
Well, 3 or whatever, 15
Yeah,
miles.
it was the
Whatever.
long-
He was there the longest.
Well,
I
because
think.
he doesn't know English.
I know, but like
hard.
I've never jogged next to someone that long
Yeah.
with no words exchanged whatsoever. So there was 5 or 6 of us. Wyatt was there with us for a bit.
Yeah.
So there was 5 or 6 of us. You were pacing.
Wyatt was ahead most of the time, and
Yeah.
then he did some videos or something. But
So you were kind of doing 9:30s, 9:25s, 9:30s.
it was slightly under 9:30 the
Yeah.
whole first half because we had an extra. It was a,
It was a long course.
26.6 mile marathon.
Long course killed us.
Yeah.
Well, like you started, and I remember on loop 2 or 1-2, you're like, there's a chance we can do a negative. Oh no, you were convinced we would do a negative.
Well, I thought I was gonna try.
And the outside shot of maybe breaking 4, maybe very distant.
Yeah, I think that wasn't reality. You forget.
You have to have these goals.
Yeah. So then it was.
But you finish your sentence though. You were going to say you forget how this is not a real marathon.
Your governor's off.
Yeah, there is no governor. Throw it out the window.
Yeah. Well, deduct half. I don't know. Deduct a bunch from your governor.
Maybe if we did this 50 times, we'd have an idea.
Yeah.
But there was no clue.
So,
The
anyways,
first loop was what? An hour and
exactly
3 or
102.15.
102.15.
102.15.
So right on pace for 4:10.
Second loop was 101.45.
Okay.
So we were at 204 at the half.
So we were doing pretty good. And by the way, this might not feel fast, but like I was ecstatic that my
Yeah.
hip held out and that I was
Yeah.
able to run the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was running with you, and like I was, and I knew I was like, I don't think I'm gonna finish this running the whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll slow down. It'll be like a 4:20. I said that a few times. 4:20, 4:30.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be a 5 hour.
Yeah. And then on the third loop, I started getting tired. I'm like, okay.
So that's the one I led, right?
So I said, I knew you were tired too. So I said, okay, I'll let him lead, and then he'll pull me a little bit because I was and I didn't want to. I don't know. It just seemed
Leading a lot is tough.
Yeah, it seemed easier when you were pacing. For me, it seemed easier when you.
I
switched to that.
liked when you were pacing because there was a bit of wind on that backstretch.
Yeah,
and it was helpful.
Yeah, was it? I think
At the first
kinda-
loop, first loop it was.
First loop was strong. Yeah,
For
I kind
sure.
of liked that wind though hitting because it was like cooling down.
Yeah.
And then
So I led the third loop.
you led the third loop, which I think was our slowest loop, maybe 105 and a half
Yeah.
or something.
But that's kind of all I had.
Yeah. And then the fourth loop, you went out hard.
So the fourth loop is where I started having this mental thing where I was like, you could just do a 107 here,
Yeah.
108.
Yeah.
Nobody will know.
Yeah.
Nothing matters.
Yeah.
Whether you do a 412 or 415, it doesn't matter. But for some reason, I needed to convince myself that I was not a quitter.
Yeah.
And I needed to go at the same pace or close to or as hard as I could.
You went 920 for a bit.
I know. I guess I wasn't looking at my watch. I was just like pushing.
I know it doesn't sound much, but 920 versus
Oh my
945
God.
is quite a.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's like 90% in the mind. Like I think our body can do it. It's just our mind can't.
Yeah, and we were talking about it. I'm like, why is this hard right now? It's not your cardio. Your legs are moving.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just hard.
It's just your mind just doesn't want to keep.
It wants to just tell you to sit down.
Yeah.
That's enough running.
Yeah.
So there's no real like. I could not put my finger on it.
Yeah. Well, the heart rate did go up quite a bit. No, for me.
I checked my heart rate. It went up.
Yeah,
quite a
it
bit
went
too.
quite a bit.
Yeah. But I mean, we were doing.
So you went hard for that last.
Yeah, our splits were like close to even. Like for a tough race like this.
So I think we were. What do you know our official time?
I think 4:14 or something.
I thought it was 4:16 or something.
I don't
Anyways, yeah, it was around there.
A little bit of a slowdown in the second half, but I mean, you're gonna get this on
Yeah,
these
yeah,
days.
yeah,
It's 2 a.m. here. What time is it? It's 3:41 a.m. here.
Yeah.
So like, I know the time doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
it's we're
And the finish. We had a sprint to the finish.
Oh yeah, we had a sprint to the finish. Check out the video. Sprint to the finish, and then a little hug it out moment. These Chinese guys, they love their smokes, eh?
Oh yeah.
They're crushing darts before the marathon and after.
I love it. Well, halves. He's doing halves.
Oh, he's only doing half.
Yeah.
Not the same guy, different guy.
I asked him. He said,
Oh, so you can crush smokes if you're doing
yeah,
a half?
he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I can have a smoke. I'm just doing a half.
Okay. So now that one's in the books. I feel really, really, really good. And the more I raced today, the more I was thinking, like, what was that yesterday? What happened?
And honestly, I think lack of sleep, man.
And it got to my mind.
Yeah, it's the.
And my mind was convinced that this injury was devastating.
Yeah. Well,
Even it's there, I can feel it,
Yeah.
but it's a million times better today.
well, plus the sleep probably helped you heal it quite a bit.
Yeah, and the meds and everything. Actually, I barely took any meds. So, anyways, all in all, I'm ecstatic how this day went. My stop in Australia, not as good as Iceland, but it's
Oh yeah, I think we got ahead.
yeah, relax. Way better in Cape Town. We're off to Dubai.
Dubai.
The bus is leaving, and we're off to Dubai, and then we run tomorrow. I guess tomorrow evening in Dubai. So we were gonna go crush that. 3 down, 4 to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
More miles, less pace. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
That was so fun. As you could tell, we are live in Dubai, the Dubai Exhibition Center. Behind us, we are courtside here. We ran right here. We just finished 26.2 miles, Charlie. That was a good one.
Yeah,
That was a
fun
good one.
Yeah.
By far the most fun for me.
It's nice when marathons go according to plan.
They haven't happened often so far.
Yeah.
Well, I've been kind of 2 for 2 on my plans, but one minus 5 for 10.
Yeah.
And yesterday was like a 6 for 10, I'd say.
Yeah, it's
4 for 10?
5 for 10.
This is as close as it could have
This was
possibly have gone.
no, this was an 11 out of 10. It went better than planned.
Because we said on the bus here, you said, I thought you were being over ambitious. Not gonna lie, last night, where was it that you said, tomorrow let's do a sub 4?
You know what? I was dreaming on the plane, and my brain was processing stuff, and it was thinking about the weather, thinking about my putting on the new shoes, and just feeling a bit fresher. And my brain said 3:59 in my sleep. It came to me.
Well, I think you said it before the sleep. You said tomorrow we're gonna go low. Tomorrow.
Yeah. But then I slept on the plane, and I dreamed about it, and something told me 3:59 in my sleep.
I was like, we did 4:15 on a crazy good sleep in pretty good conditions in Perth.
Yeah.
How are we gonna beat 15 minutes? Is what I thought.
Yeah.
But I trust you. Then today again on the bus, you're like, I was like, what's the plan? And you said we start at 9:05 and just
Even splits.
even splits, make our way down, and like no changing from the splits.
Yeah.
Straight splits, just slightly ahead of pace, and at the end, if we got it, we push.
And so what happened was,
Let's go.
we did that till loop 6, and then loop 7, we said you pushed a bit. And
Well,
then,
hold on. What was our
sorry,
eight
we
loop
were
course.
slightly under every,
8 loop course. Let's start beginning. 8 loop course,
Yeah.
right at the Dubai City Expo, which, by the way,
unbelievable.
one of the coolest places for sure the coolest place I've ever run a marathon. Like,
Yeah.
we had the whole street to ourselves. Check it out. This is the course. This is the course right here. It's like, what is it, 50 feet wide, and we have the whole thing to ourselves. And there's security everywhere. There was what, like 4 aid stations on a 5-kilometer loop.
Yeah.
They were everywhere, and just wide lanes, as George Costanza would say, or no, Elaine Bennis would
So
say.
that probably saved like 2 minutes, just the aid stations.
Aid stations not having to go out of the way. But anyways, okay, so 8 loop course.
Yeah.
So basically, exact same as yesterday. Yesterday was a 4 loop course, but it was a there and back.
Yeah.
So we divided it into 8.
Yeah.
So same as yesterday. Now, there's no way this felt like the same as yesterday in terms of, is it because we weren't in a good frame of mind, or is it because this course was just easier because it's lit and it's...
I
Do you
think
there's
it's a
difference?
combination of that, and I think it was just better. It was cooler. It was cooler today.
Cooler, yeah, for sure. And like, you're not running on the side of the ocean worried about falling in. It was pitch dark sometimes yesterday.
Yeah.
You couldn't see where you're going. You're bumping into people. You don't see any. This was like uplifting, I'd say, most of the course.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Like, you're running into, like, they spent how many billions of dollars for this expo? This was for the COVID. They were supposed to have the expo here, Expo 2020. They didn't have it. The bus driver on the way here is like, they built this.
Just gonna grab a banana. Keep
Yeah. They built this complete waste. They haven't used it yet. The parking lots extend as far as you can see. There wasn't a car in it today. and we have the whole thing to ourselves. This thing is like majestic. The biggest thing. There's a runner going by right here, and is that Becca?
That's fast, Becky.
Oh, she's just doing
Just
loops.
doing a quick jog.
Just getting a quick
I think
jog.
that's her second jog, actually.
That's our race director, Becca. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Really like her. She had a similar experience that I did in Nice, and has not done any Ironman since. Like me, she went to the dark zone, I guess we'll call it. Anyways, first loop. Our goal was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's 8 loops.
Yeah.
If you do 8 30-minute loops, that's 4 hours. That was our goal. The problem with this place is going out, there's a lot of concrete. And the Garmin wasn't
We had
perfect.
no clue.
Kind of had no clue because, there's our buddy Tom. Kind of had no clue because
No, it's not Tom.
that's Tom.
Oh, yeah.
There's our boy Tom. I'm going to give him a shout out. Australian, he got me out. Hi, boy Tom. Let's go, buddy. Let's go.
One to go.
Aussie. He saved me at the Cape Town Marathon. I owe him. So we had no idea. So my watch was saying like 9-minute miles. Yours was
Mine was saying like 9:20. I'm
9:15.
like, we're going way too slow.
We asked the guy next to us. His was saying 8:45. So we're like, okay, we have no idea. So we kind of went by feel mostly,
Yeah.
and kind of following the watches a little bit. And
I was pacing, and I knew what a 9:05 felt like. Just kidding.
when we got to the end of the first loop, 29:30.
29:30, yeah.
29:30. So we're like, okay, it's my watch is accurate. I was
Yeah.
pumped because my
Yeah.
watch was accurate.
Yeah.
So second loop, I had to take a pee.
No, third loop. That was third loop.
Third loop?
Yeah, because second loop we did at 29:15.
Yeah, I did a 30 something on my second loop.
Oh, you must have peed on your second loop.
I peed on the second loop.
Oh, and then on the third loop, I waited for you a little bit. Like I didn't.
How'd it go, Becca?
I kind of slowed down a little bit on the third loop till love her. I slowed down a little on the third loop. So my slow loop was the third loop.
Right.
I did a 30.5 or something.
So second loop, I pulled a Charlie. I was so rushed. Like I want to touch on this point quickly. I know we touched on it earlier, but the time that we have between races to do sleep, to do food, to do nutrition, to do water, to do recovery with, the space boots and massaging, and to like even just take time to take pills and change your socks. And it feels like you don't have time to do everything. Like I went for a pee and I was like, okay, I got to go for another pee, but I didn't have time because I wanted to change my socks. And so I didn't pee, like as crazy as that is.
I
So-
needed to pee from loop 4.
Let's go.
Um,
So I needed to pee. So I'm like, okay, well, I just have to go. There's zero chance I can make the whole race. And I don't know if this happens to you, but when I have to pee, I don't drink.
yeah, I kind of make the same
And it's
mistake.
hot. So I was like, okay, well, if I don't drink, that's dangerous, right? In this weather. Because it's not the type of weather where you feel you have to drink. But next thing you know, you're tasting the salt on your face, right?
Yeah.
She's just running sprint.
So I had to pee from the fourth loop on, and so that I had that feeling. So I was just making sure I kept sipping the whole time, even though I had to pee.
So this pee, I asked, like, where are the washrooms? The guy said, oh, it's over there. I saw the sign, toilets. Wow. I don't know what my Garmin is going to say, but I'm guessing it was like, I don't know. It was all the way up an escalator, through these doors. It was like, I don't know, felt like a minute and a
I
half.
still haven't peed though. Now I'm thinking about it.
Don't pee anywhere out here because you're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
So I peed, and now I see you way ahead. I'm like, okay, I'm probably a minute behind is what I thought. I'm a minute and a half behind. So I said 6 miles, 10 seconds per mile. I'll just catch up to him. I'm not going to rush it. I'll do 9-minute miles because I thought we were doing 9:10s. I said I'll do 9-minute miles till I catch up to Charlie. And it's a little demoralizing because it's not fast. It's hard to make up a minute on someone who's.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of slowly chucked away. And then I got saved.
I had to stop at the.
Well, no, we got saved because at the end of the first loop, we took our tarps off.
Oh yeah.
We took our tarps off. We're in Dubai. I had asked the tournament organizers, hey, could I go shirts off? Yeah, no problem. So sure enough, we're a little bit into our tarps off loop, and the security's coming to us. You guys have to wear a shirt. They threw 3 shirts at us. Mine was mine. The other guy's was his. It wasn't even your
They threw
shirt.
me a jacket,
women's jacket.
women's jacket that I could barely fit
No, you
one
couldn't
shoulder,
fit it, so
one
you-
shoulder around.
You're wearing it around your neck, your women's jacket, and then So we finished. So I went to pee, finished the loop, and I saw you. You were quite a bit ahead still, but then they made you change shirts. What
I
happened?
wanted to. I knew
Okay.
I wanted
So
to.
what,
I
did you
wanted to
ask for your bag?
No, I knew where I'd left my shirt, and I just took it and put it on.
Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grabbed your shirt. That gave me just enough time. I was in the maybe 10 seconds behind, and then I kind of caught up at the start of the third loop. So you did a 29:10 or something on your second loop? What was your time on your second
29:10 the second loop.
loop? Okay,
Yeah.
so I was about 30.
I went. I don't know. I felt good that one. I just
And then we kind of nestled into, what was it, 29:30s for a bit?
pretty much 29:30s, like almost exact. Well, okay, so 4 was 29:30.
3 was 29:30.
Well, for you, me it was
No.
30.
So 2, oh yeah, because I had to catch up.
Yeah,
I had
we-
to catch up. Yeah,
Our
we
two,
inverted
our
our
2
loops.
and 3 were inverted.
Yeah.
4 was 29:30. 5.
But wait, so that put our chip time half, according to the race,
Yeah.
at 1:58:40, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
1:58:40.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
So it was a little long course, believe it or not. I thought it was going to be a short course, but it actually ended up being a long course. So now we did 1:58:40. We're both thinking, okay, we got a minute 20 to spare on the back 9. But if we can just kind of maintain this pace, that would be awesome. And we talked, and then fifth loop.
Yeah, we got to make it quick. My back is killing me. Sorry.
Okay. You want to just stop it?
No, let's do it.
Okay, fifth loop. Life's pretty good. We're pushing, and then started thinking about maybe doing a negative, right? You're like, oh, maybe we could do a negative.
We were debating it. Remember, we're saying like, do we want to risk
Is it
the
worth
4?
it?
Yeah.
What's the big deal if we do 156 or 150 or 356?
So loop 5 though was 29:30 exactly. Loop 6 was a little slower. Remember, you were confused about your watch.
Oh, loop 6, my watch all of a sudden, after being accurate for 5 loops, all of a sudden it was off.
So it was a 29:52.
Yeah, it was off almost 30 seconds.
Then I don't know. You had you felt something on the loop 7. You started pushing.
Did I push on loop 7?
28. We did the 28:50 or something.
Oh, okay.
And then loop 8. I don't know. You did like a 25. I did like a 27.
It felt so good. You know how I chase highs? I keep talking about chasing highs.
That last loop was
That was a high.
First time you ever beat me, and I don't feel terrible.
You're like, hey, he could have this one. He needs it more than I do.
No, I was so
Poor
happy.
guy did a 5-hour. Let him have this one.
I was so happy about how I finished.
Let's go! Let's go! The runners are passing by here. It's Beau Fred! Frédéric de la France. No, I felt good and I wanted it. And the whole way I was like, my God, I'm pushing and I feel great. So it was awesome to push. Awesome to crush a freaking marathon here and to feel so good about it. And now we get another long sleep.
Yeah.
And,
Well, is it that long?
I think it's 8 hours. And then we get an arguably easiest marathon of the entire
Oh
time.
no, it's hilly though, eh?
Is it hilly?
No. Very hilly apparently.
Okay.
It's gonna be like Antarctica.
But it's going to be evenings, like this time.
No, it's gonna be middle of the day.
Really?
But
Okay.
5 degrees or something.
5 degrees,
8
middle of the day.
degrees, Whatever.
And how thrilled are you for the nap in the plane?
Oh, I can't wait.
I slept.
I gotta lay down. My back is killing.
Okay, you lay down. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah, I'll finish. Whatever.
Okay, and then
After is what I meant.
yeah.
After we're done. I gotta lay
Now, there's Marathon Yellow. Wow, we beat him by. You're gonna gain some time here on him
down. Yeah.
because he's got another mile here.
Well, it's that one that he's slightly ahead of me, and I passed him on loop 7.
I'm gonna interview Paul and
Oh man, Alan was giving.
Alan, 'cause those guys-
Alan was giving her at the end.
4 races. They've alternated, right?
Yeah.
They've each got 2 wins.
Alan made a move at the end.
I'm really interested into how he was 15 minutes ahead and he chopped a couple minutes for sure today. So this is turning into be an interesting. We're past halfway now. Best I've felt since, and we're off to Madrid tomorrow. So this was a high. This was good. This is Dubai. It's as cool as it could have possibly been. Any last words, Charlie? I know you're hurt, so you're back. I mean, it's hurt.
Yeah. No, that was a fun one.
It was fun because like the whole way we're just like, hey, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be a quick time, and it's gonna be just.
Well, let's go back to 5 and 6 where we had a bit of doubts though. Eh? We did have some doubt,
Yeah.
which is you should have a bit.
Yeah.
But then at 7,
I didn't really doubt. I was
had a
scared
bit.
to say it a little bit.
I had a bit of doubt. So I guess I wasn't, but I finished strong. I think
But
I
I
did
had
like a
doubt
20.
yesterday.
I think I did like a 27 on the last.
Yeah, like if I wouldn't have done a 25 or a 26, like
Yeah.
that would have been. All right, let's go eat
shower, and get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you in the next one. Dubai out.